One word: conflict. It's as certain in our life as death and taxes. How does that word make you feel? When you think about conflict, what comes to mind? What emotion or reaction comes to mind?
Angry.
Anybody?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Frustration.
Frustration. Disagreement.
Confusion.
Disruptive. Confusion, right? These are all very negative reactions that you've had. People don't like thinking about conflict. They don't like to be in conflict. But what if I told you to think about conflict from a new perspective? That conflict is good. That conflict is actually great. It's great if you know a secret. And I'm going to share that secret with you. But first, when I met with the Rothsteins for the first time, their family business was in complete disarray. 4 siblings had inherited a real estate development business from their father. But at this point, all development had stopped, ground to a halt. The emails with the sibling partners were getting meaner and meaner. There was no shared vision anymore. There was no plan. So when the Rothsteins filed in to sit around our mediation table, Deborah came in last. She sort of walked in with her head down, sat down in her chair, and then swiveled it to the back, with her back to the audience, or to the back to the table. She wouldn't say a word. So we started, and after about 15-20 minutes of back and forth with the other siblings, one of the brothers got just frustrated with Deborah's silence. "For crying out loud, Deborah, what is it that you want?" Deborah sort of slowly turns her chair back to the table. She takes a deep breath. And over the next 20 minutes, Deborah poured out her pain. She told us stories from 30 years ago. Dad always liked the boys more. Or stories that were more recent. 2 weeks ago when we had that meeting, I gave you a suggestion about bookkeeping, and you guys completely ignored me. So what we heard from Deborah through pain, through tears, through anger, was this pent-up frustration. She did not feel like an equal equity partner. She felt like a limited partner. She felt disrespected. She felt really small. But what happened next was amazing. One by one, the siblings validated her, they apologized, they explained, and they told her, "We love you." So next, we built a new plan for the business, one that focused on growing firm profits, but not at the expense of family relationships. They didn't want to stop there. They kept going. So then we developed a new code of conduct that focused on transparency and demanded respectful communications. These guys were on fire. They did not want to leave. At like 9:00 p.m., I had to kick them out of my office and send them on their way. So remember when I told you that conflict can be great if you know the secret? Well, here's the secret. We all want to be heard. We all want to tell our stories. It's hard to every day hold in those frustrations that we have and live with them and deal with them. So next time you hear about conflict, next time you're feeling conflict, instead of thinking of it as scary, as intimidating, as frustrating, as nauseating, I want you to think of conflict as an invitation to finally put your issue, your truth on the table so that it gets addressed. I want you to think of conflict as an invitation to invent a solution. So in the next segment, I'm going to give you some tips. You're about to have a huge weight lifted off of your shoulders. I'm going to teach you how to move through the fear of conflict so that you can lay that invitation out and invite people to work with you to invent a solution. Are you ready?